Welcome to the Gay Buddhist Forum, where teachers from all schools of Buddhism offer their perspectives on the Dharma and its application in modern times, especially for LGBTQI audiences. These talks are offered freely to the world and made possible by appreciative listeners. If you would like to support our efforts to share the Dharma with underserved audiences, please visit gaybuddhist.org. There you can donate, find a list of upcoming speakers, or enjoy many hundreds of these recorded talks dating back to 1996.
Adrian, Richard Azzolini,
Dean Flint,
Bob,
Larry Wick,
Ray Dyer,
Paul Shepard, Rich,
Jim Stewart,
Jerry Jones.
I'm Karen, I'm Tom,
I'm Robert,
I'm Don.
I'm Bill.
I'm Marvin, I'm Ricardo,
I'm Bill.
I'm Kate.
Peter Down.
My name is Howard Decourt.
I'm Dan. Mike. Jim.
Tom, Paul,
David.
Jen.
My name is Kay.
I'm Tom Thurston.
I'm Arthur. Joe. Great, thank you everyone. So we have a distinguished speaker here today. This is Ösel Jennings, and he's a meditation master and healer, a visionary, poet, artist, and musician, Zen chef, husband, and endurance athlete. Currently training at the elite level for the marathon of life. His Dharma teachings focus on the development of genuine love for oneself, which can then serve as a catalyst to awaken the heart of the universal awareness within, and so radiate outward to all life and natural world for the peace and healing of this sacred planet Earth. He holds the sacred tantric lineage of Lotus Speech, heralded into this world by Dharma Lord Nagarjuna in 500 CE, who received the great perfection of wisdom teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni from the realm of the Nagas. He has received direct transmission, teachings, and empowerments from Buddha Padmasambhava, Buddha Stainless Wisdom, and numerous other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the celestial realms of awakened mind, which he has codified into the teachings of Lotus Speech Mandala, called Perfection Everywhere, the Yoga of Being You. He has requested to give teachings and healing transmission. He has been requested to give teachings and healing transmission by his master. His root gurus are His Eminence Dzogchen Choying Rabjam, Kyabje Lama Zopa, His Holiness the Gyalwang Karmapa, and Qigong Grand Master Lei Chan Chen.
It's funny to listen to this. What is true is that I love myself, I love you, I love Buddha, and I love Buddha's teaching. That's why we're here. It's love. The basis of Dharma is love. The basis of Buddha's teaching is love. The basis of our existence is love. And I had met Gary? Chris? I had met Gary Pedler. Is he one of your members?
He is. He's not here today.
I had met Gary. I gave a teaching at Yerba Buena Art Center, I think back in January, and he was really touched by the teaching of like developing love, appreciation and respect for yourself. And so it's through the basis of that teaching and that lineage that I'm here today to share my experience with what it's like to fall in love with yourself, to discover what it's like to become your own best friend. It's a journey. This is a journey of Dharma. This is a journey of a Dharma practitioner. It's to become your own best friend. Because we all know how we're not, right? We all know how we're not our own best friend. And that's why we suffer. Because we're not our own best friend. We're not accountable to ourselves. That's why we practice Dharma. That's why we learn things like meditation. It's to become our own best friend. To not cheat ourselves. To not cheat on ourselves. Therefore, to not cheat on human beings, on humanity, on the planet, right? This is Dharma. So you are Dharma. You are your own best friend. When you practice Dharma, when you practice meditation, we're practicing being our own best friend. There's no other teaching, there's no other practice than this. And this is what brought me to this place today, was this teaching that I had the pleasure to share with Gary and make an auspicious connection. And through that blessing, here we are together as a Sangha, as a community of brothers and sisters, to discover the deeper meaning of what it is to be our own best friend, to love ourselves, to heal ourselves. That being said, I humbly request everyone to bring their hands together in prayer position. I'm going to invoke the sacred lineage of the Lotus Speech Mandala to the Buddha Padmasambhava, because the theme of our discussion and our time today is about empowerment, personal empowerment. So I'm going to call upon the blessing of Padmasambhava for empowerment and healing in our life. Honojen yujen najang sam pama gasa dambon la yatsen chogyan nandane pama jonne jasundran kadu kandra mambin glaring kekyan jasundan jengyan laushe jasun soing guru pama sede hon Argan yujen najang sam pama gasa dambon la yatsen chogyan nandane pama jonne jasundran Kadu kandro mambu kue gege jasunda androge jingyan lavjer jasu so inguru bama sedeom argan yojan najam sam bama gesa dambola yatsen jogyan nandune bama jane jasundra Kadu kandro mambu gege jasunda androge jingyan lavjer jasu Dozen Sanjay Guru and Boja, Nanduganda, Jambo Jan, Boja Gunzanda, and Drabozan, so I does a jingle, not does a Jinon Sangar Baja, Dan, Samba, Longi, Drupar, Jingilo, Mama, Vajra Guru, Bamatodan, Sarvajra Samaya, Sarva Side, Pala Home. Okay. So this invokes the safety, the blessing and protection of Padmasambhava and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the Dzogchen lineage, the great perfection of wisdom lineage. So we're here to discover what it's like, right, to be our own best friend. Why else do we practice Dharma other than to be happy? We practice Dharma to be happy. We don't practice Dharma to accumulate knowledge. We don't practice Dharma to accumulate information. We don't practice Dharma to become a teacher. We don't practice Dharma to help other people, necessarily. We practice Dharma to be happy, to be healthy, to experience what it means to be in love with ourselves. All that naturally helps everybody. So, what is interesting about what's called the teachings of Dzogchen, Dzogchen means the great perfection of wisdom, they're completely experiential, and they encompass all nine, there are 9 levels of Buddha's teaching. They encompass all 9 levels in a single essence, and that essence has to do with you. It has to do with the awakening of our Buddha nature. It's called the Tathagata Garbha, awakening of Buddha nature. There's nothing to talk about other than our Buddha nature from this perspective, from the essential perspective. If we talk about our Buddha nature, then fundamentally we're talking about ourself, the contents of our own heart. Right? Our practice is about examining the contents of our own heart. When we're sitting here in meditation together, we're not practicing meditation. We're just sitting here being ourselves. If you're trying to practice meditation, you're putting on like this huge conceptual overlay, and you're encumbering yourself with a burden of trying to get somewhere and trying to be already somebody that you're not. So you're missing the essential point of Dharma. So we had a nice experience this morning. We had some people were blanking out. Some people's minds are all over the place. Some people were right on the mark. Some people weren't doing anything at all. And some people were sleeping. Right? That's perfect. Because that is providing us with the material to examine the basis of our experience today and to see what is real meditation, what is a real human being, who is the real us, who is the real me, who is the real I. When you sit down to meditate, you're sitting down to be the real you. When you get up to go pee or to have a cup of tea or to check your cell phone message or whatever, you're also practicing being the real you. In everything that we think, say, and do, in every situation and circumstance in our life, we're practicing meditation. We're practicing being the real us, ourselves. A lot of times people ask me, where do you go to church or where do you study? It's right here. All the time. We're practicing all the time. If we know this, if we're steeped in this, if we find confidence and faith in this, this is the source of joy and inspiration in our life. And that's when you can really deliver the goods to your friends, to your family, through having delivered the goods to yourself. To your community, to the world at large. We're practicing being ourselves. We all know, like, the world appears full of lies. It's also very easy to bring that same game of whoever pretends the best wins into the Dharma situation, the Dharma context. And our practice becomes political. We become political unto ourselves because we're trying to get somewhere. We're trying to prove to ourselves that we're good, that we're worthy, that we're deserving. This is the ripoff, This is like Chogyam Trungpa. Many people heard of this man, this master who brought Dharma to the West in the early 70s. He wrote a book called Cutting Through Spiritual Materialism. You practice trying to accomplish something or to achieve something or to be better. You're ripping yourself off. You're cheating other people too, because it's the same game of ego. Ego is very subtle. Ego knows how to hide. Ego knows how to masquerade itself. But when you practice and you sit down and you say, I'm good. I'm totally good right now. No matter whether my mind's here, there, or wherever. Without putting weight down on yourself. Allowing the natural energy, the effulgence of the truth of your being to come out. When you just sit down, totally content. You can sit here all day and just be happy unto yourself. Imagine that. Through all of it, through all the highs and through all the lows, your mind just stays very stable, serene, and calm. You have to give yourself this gift. This is the point of practice, is returning yourself unto yourself. The point of practicing Dharma means you return the gift of yourself back unto yourself. In technical terms, in Dzogchen, it means the sun, light, meets with the mother light. The sun, the light of the sun meaning the child, recognizes the light of the mother. The mother light and the sunlight recognize each other and they become one and indivisible again. That is the subtle point that I want to express today in terms of giving the direct introduction to the nature of mind, so that the sunlight of each of you, of your own awareness, recognizes the mother light of timeless awareness, of universal wisdom that is Buddha. But how we bring ourselves into the right frame of mind, or create the safe container for the experience to unfold, is to recognize the fundamental approach. This is called the view. The view of meditation is that you are already good, that you're already Buddha, that you don't have to do anything, you don't have to practice anything, there's nothing to achieve. Just happy. You're just happy. Fundamentally happy, or fundamentally good. You know, in this society, in the institutions through which we've been educated or indoctrinated or raised, nobody tells us, you're good, you're Buddha from the very get-go in our culture, in our society. Everyone says, you have to achieve, you have to do in order to be. And then we'll give you, the reward and the applause and the benefit, and you get a title, and because you have position, or you have power, you have status. But from the very get-go, no one says, you're Buddha, you're Buddha. Like, people see all these masters coming from the East, and they want to study with all these masters, and they wonder how they got to be masters. It's because when they were 2 years old, their teachers took them and said, you're Buddha, and this is exactly how. And so from the very get-go, they were raised and trained to recognize the truth that they're Buddha, or they're already Bodhisattvas, right? So in some way, maybe we're at a little bit of a disadvantage, but wake up right now and recognize you are the master. Just recognize your nature, your Buddha nature. How do we do that? How do we do that? We rejoice in our Buddha nature. We all have Buddha nature. This is the essence of all the sutra's teaching. Buddha's teaching of sutra, especially it's called the Tathagata Garbha Sutra. This sutra is very important. Remember this. The Tathagata Garbha Sutra, even to pronounce the name, brings extreme benefit and blessing and empowerment. Rejoice in your Buddha nature. This is the essence of the entire sutra teaching. Rejoice in your Buddha nature. You wouldn't be sitting here practicing if you didn't know you had something inside that you wanted to access, that you really wanted to awaken, that was motivating you to maybe want to become happy, a better person, or enlightened even. What is the cause, the fundamental cause of that? It's causelessness. What is causelessness? It's our Buddha nature. It's called Tathagata Garbha. So therefore, we rejoice in our Buddha nature. We rejoice in this Tathagata Garbha. This is a self-empowerment, how we empower ourselves. We rejoice in our Buddha nature. When you rejoice in your Buddha nature, you can rejoice in other people's Buddha nature. When you rejoice in your own Buddha nature, you can see the Buddha nature in other people. You don't judge them anymore. It cuts through all of your negative emotions. It cuts through all affliction right there. Anger, jealousy, pride, arrogance, you know the game. Lust, desire, greed, etc. Boom! Cuts through very clearly. Because you see, oh, I have Buddha nature. Wow, look at that. I just forgot, or I did not recognize up until this point. How wonderful, how marvelous. Other people have this too. Therefore, I'm inclined now to give them the benefit of the doubt. That's how simple and profound the entire scope of Buddha's 84,000 teachings is. You rejoice in your Buddha nature. But once you rejoice, then it requires having a direct introduction, so you see for sure exactly what that is, and you know. And once you know, you decide, yes, that's it. I have it. It's there. It's awake now, and other people have it too. And it's my responsibility through training and the continuous recognition of this Buddha nature to reflect that to others. That is called the practice of compassion. Recognizing yourself as wisdom, recognizing that in others is called compassion. And the two wings that cause Buddha's teaching to fly, the Dharma, are called merit and wisdom. Wisdom and compassion. Recognize your nature, recognize it in others. Recognizing yourself as wisdom, recognize it in others as compassion. That's the whole scope right there. It's simple. But we can break it down into layman's terminology. Be your own best friend. Love yourself. Love yourself. Empower yourself. in the space of this love. Smile to yourself inside and tell yourself, I love you. Put your right hand on your heart right now. Say, whatever your name is, I love you. 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 I say to myself, I spent 3 years in retreat in my apartment in San Francisco on Sutter Street back in the mid-90s. My teacher said, I have this amazing practice for you. I was really excited. I thought he was going to teach me how to fly or something because he has great magic. And he said, I want you to place your right hand on your heart, Ösel, and tell yourself, I love you for the next 1.5 years. I was like, what? And I didn't understand until I started to do it, and I could see exactly how I didn't love myself because it brought out all the shit. It brought out all my garbage right up to the surface, and I was like, wow, I don't love myself in that way. I don't love myself in this way. I was using meditation to escape from the fact that I was a really good meditator, but I was not meditating. I was not in a natural state. I was contriving an experience to hide from myself. We all do that. We do that in every aspect of our life. We do it in meditation, of course, our spiritual practice. Put your right hand on your heart and say, I love you. I love you. Rejoice in your Buddha nature. Awaken that. Recognize that and see it in other people. It's that simple. It's the key to healing in life. But what is essential is to receive the direct introduction, which is an empowerment that will serve to bring you into clarity within the context of the experience, the ongoing experience of the essence of life, your life, my life, all life. If you recognize, it's right here. Like that. If your heart is open, you'll see right now. Boom. If your heart is open to you, if your heart is open to you, it's only the ego that's afraid. But where's ego? Really? We always talk about ego a lot. Where is ego? Where are you? Where is the you that you call you? Your I. Where's your mind? That's where. Where is your mind? Look for your mind. Look for your mind. Who's looking? Where is this looking happening? Is there anything to be found anywhere? Look for your mind. In that vast open space, what is there? Some people say nothing. Other people call it emptiness. But is it an emptiness, or is it a mere emptiness? This emptiness that we're speaking of is aware of itself, isn't it? How can emptiness recognize emptiness? What recognizes emptiness? When you see the emptiness of the space of yourself, your mind, what recognizes that? It's called awareness. Empty awareness is an indivisible unity, isn't it? Because the awareness does not occur separate from this emptiness, does it? Look at the emptiness again. See the emptiness. This is emptiness seeing itself, isn't it? It's aware of itself. This is called your Buddha nature. Empty awareness. When we don't recognize this, we call it I. And from the basis of this illusory experience, the grasping that occurs, we call I. This mistaken awareness generates endless conceptualization that compounds itself into the double I we call delusion, that then creates the karmic chain of events through which we experience suffering. But when you recognize your nature, you cut through all of that immediately. The ultimate means of purification and healing is to recognize your Buddha nature again and again. Recognize the emptiness of your mind. That emptiness of your mind is aware, is it not? Look at the emptiness of your mind. Come into the space of recognition. Recognize the emptiness. All you have to do is totally relax and look behind your eyes. Without looking, just see what's there. Allow for the seeing to see itself. Allow for the seeing to see itself. Recognize this empty awareness that reflects all appearance and occurrence within you. This reflection is called your thinking. As thoughts arise, they arise within the empty space of your mind. They are reflections or manifestations or expressions of enlightened awareness. Thoughts are not thoughts. They are wisdom if you recognize them, because they are empty. Look at your mind. See the emptiness. Who sees emptiness? What is doing the seeing? You see emptiness seeing itself? Do you? Is that seeing separate from emptiness? Or is it emptiness itself that sees itself? This is the crucial point. We have to come to a decision in our meditation, in our experience, our ongoing experience of life. Look at your mind. Who's looking? If you recognize this, you're always in meditation. Meditation is the natural state of mind. It's the fundamental way of being. So therefore there's nothing to practice. You simply have to recognize yourself. Observe this emptiness. And allow for the emptiness to become aware of itself, because it is fundamentally aware of itself. Recognize your own awareness. Make a decision upon this recognition. Yes, this is empty awareness. I understand how I exist, how the nature of my mind is. Empty awareness. Is this emptiness void or completely blank? Or is it suffused with its own natural clarity and self-knowing? This is the key. If you recognize this, then all the ways in which you cling to and grasp onto yourself will begin to cut through themselves, because you will recognize that what you have been clinging to, this I, the person that you think is you, is not you. It is Buddha. Buddha is a very abstract term. People don't actually think they can become Buddha because they don't know what Buddha means. Buddha means a vast awakening. What is a vast awakening? It is your mind. Your mind is the link. The sun and the mother light. The light of you joining, returning again home to the light of universal awareness. Buddha. Dharma is the link. It's the recognition. The recognition is Dharma. That is all Dharma is. That recognition is the very meaning of Cho. Cho in Tibetan is Dharma. That means that which supports, that which holds everything up. When you recognize, you're supporting. You recognize what supports all of existence. It's that recognition. It's the truth. Empty awareness is the truth of all existence, of all phenomena. It's you. So don't think that you're going to practice and be that. You're going to practice and be you. It's already you. But what is that you? Recognize you. Right now, recognize you. Do yourself a favor. Do the world a favor. The world needs you to recognize yourself clearly, not conceptually. This is true goodness. The true goodness, original brightness of who you are, of who I am, of who we are, fundamentally. If you recognize it, you recognize it. If you don't, you don't. No harm's going to come to you. But you keep trying until you see, finally, for yourself. If you're not seeing, it's because we need more purification. We need more training in understanding the nature of our mind. Which means we need to purify it. Which is why we decrease our desires. Which is why we don't engage in negativity. And we cultivate a wealth of virtue. Why? Because cultivating a wealth of virtue, refraining from engaging in negative action, negative speech, and negative thinking, supports the purification process through which you will recognize the nature of your mind. This is why we don't do bad things. Because it inhibits the truth of our being from manifesting itself. It prevents us from recognizing that we're totally good already. So one more time, let's take a look at our mind. Look behind your eyes. You can close your eyes, you can keep them open. It's better to open them and gaze into space before you, about 5 feet, and just relax. And once you feel comfortable and relaxed, let your mouth, your jaw relax, let your mouth hang open slightly. Breathe through your mouth. And look at your mind. You can do this through looking behind your eyes. That your mind, our minds are not localized anywhere. It's helpful to withdraw the energy into the heart chakra, the heart essence, which is where actual mind, the energetic essence, resides. So, gaze, relax, look behind your eyes. Look into the vast space of your mind, this open space. This is the samadhi of openness. Recognize the energy of this open space. Is this energy separate from open space? Or is it the same as the open space? important point here is to decide upon whether or not the energy of emptiness is the same or different. Is it separate or is it indivisible? How does open space recognize itself? Are there boundaries? Is there a center? Is there a color, a texture, a tone? Is there a periphery? Is there up or down? Is there in or out? Anywhere to be found? Just relax. Let yourself expand into your own awareness. Recognize this awareness. Close your eyes and bring your attention and your awareness down into your heart center. And see your heart center now becoming completely filled with brilliant white healing light of love and compassion of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, of all immortals and saints, of all devas and dakinis. Sangara Gamberong on Zana Buddha Buddha Gindeguya des Degabazo Mamadara Mogajaya des Odezo Mababega Mane Bebeda de Gada des Animane Zurum Bebe Madazangara Gamberong on Zana Buddha Buddha Gindeguya Ares de Negabazo Madara Mogajaya des Odezo Amebelega Bemane Bebeda de Gada des Animane Zurum Bebe Madazangara Gamberong Zana Buddha Buddha Gindeguya Ares de Negabazo Madara Mogajaya des Odezo. This light begins to fill the whole body, every cell, molecule, and atom filling the radiance of love and compassion, manifesting through the recognition of our own empty awareness. this energy of love to completely fill you, to support you. Allow yourself to receive the energy of great love. The effulgence of your own empty awareness arising to support you, to heal you and nurture you. All of us, all of life. Recognize yourself. Allow for this loving kindness to support you in this recognition. Let it support all of us as our hearts join together and merge as one, radiating ceaselessly out to the earth and to all living beings and things. Our hearts open and become one. Trust yourself. Just trust yourself. Shamanasare Shanamasakasanai Shashasamanasara Shamanasakai. Arasane Shanamasakane Shanashanashanamasakai. Sarasanamane Shanamasakane Mashamasai. Asanakashamanasarakanama Shashashamanasakai. Tanamasare Shanamasara Shamashamanakasakasamanakai Shashashamanasasamanas. All those closest to us, all of our friends and family, even people we have difficulty with, all of our ancestors who've crossed over, our relatives, our loved ones, they're all here with us today. Many beings are receiving this teaching, this transmission and practice through us today. Please open your hearts even further to extend the benefit of the blessing, empowerment to all those in your life with whom you have auspicious connections, and allow for it to heal them, to purify their negative karma, so they recognize their Buddha nature, that they can ascend to the celestial realms as bodhisattvas. Our whole community, all of our respective communities, being filled with light, love and compassion and wisdom. Amashe, hey, oh, yasaneshe, ayano. strengthening our hearts, strengthening our hearts, strengthening our hearts. All Buddha's blessing, empowerment, accomplishment, and realization in this and all universes. Strengthen our hearts now. Strengthen our hearts. Strengthen our will. Strengthen the power of our recognition. Empower the realization of our empty awareness. Empower the realization of our empty awareness. Help us cut through the disease of ego clinging, which is simply not recognizing our empty awareness. Purify and heal our bodies. Support the manifestation of wisdom in our life that will bring healing to this world. That concludes our time. Sonande damcha zepane donene pe janam bamche shinke gana jimba long drubane zepe jorne jowar sho emo yomde yinge jinge son sana nema chondro de nimbo mamye jebadu sosara da san dondo bema ho. I rejoice, I rejoice, I rejoice. I love you. I love all of you. Thank you so much for being here to participate in this group healing, this community healing. The healing of the world.
Thank you, Ösel. I have a few minutes for question and answer, and then after that we have a few announcements.
Also, I want to say thank you so much. I was actually the one who emailed you. My name is Peter.
Hi, Peter. Thank you.
My pleasure. And my friend Kate and I actually were there in January.
Right, I recognize you.
And Gary got sort of caught in the middle
Okay,
as a representative for the group. So.
Elemental Peter.
That's me.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you so much. I received such well-being after going to your Lemoyne and being with you. And I just, my gratitude is really for, I feel like you really shatter a lot of conceptions that I didn't know I even had about the steps that need to be taken, and to just bring us into present awareness.
Right.
And in a very experiential way. A lot of the guys in this group, I think, would agree that this is quite different from what we experience on a lot of Sunday mornings.
Yeah.
And it's much more cerebral, it's much more thoughtful, and just thank you so much for making me stay with you in the moment and being there.
I rejoice. Thank you. Thank you for putting in the work. Yes, sir.
Could you say something about how we can carry this into our tomorrow and the next day?
Yeah. Realistically, what you can do is remember your time and your experience here. Because past, present, and future come together through what's called Tathagata Garbha. There is no time. There's only empty awareness. If you remember this time, you'll remember your empty awareness and you'll recognize yourself. So train yourself. And this is the instruction for you personally. It could be different for somebody else, because this is what's going to help you resolve some of your own issues as it relates to concepts, breaking you free from concepts as it relates to Dharma and how to engage in Dharma practice. Remember this time and your experience here and train yourself in that, so that you can cut free of the past and liberate yourself from an expectation of the future. Remember your time and your experience here now. Remember the word I'm saying to you right now to trigger and catalyze the awakening of your own awareness in every single moment. It's coming through now. Just remember that, okay? That's how Mahamudra works. Some of you may have heard of Mahamudra or Dzogchen. That's how Dzogchen works. It's a sign. The signature is on you. The blessing and empowerment is on you. All you have to do is recognize it. become aware of it. When you receive like an empowerment or a transmission, the one vow or promise that you make is not to get angry or to generate really powerful negativity. Why? Because that destroys the seal or the signature of the empowerment that's on you. But if you remember the empowerment and cultivate the awareness of it, the signature will manifest and awaken in you, and you recognize the truth of who you are. So remember that. Just 1 second. Just. It's experiential. It remembers itself. Okay?
I think we have time for about one more question.
Well, I just want to say thank you very much. That was quite powerful. I am familiar with some Buddhist concepts, but empty awareness is a little hard for me to grasp because my mind is just continually thinking of all kinds of stuff, and to get the mind under control is really difficult.
The best thing you can do is forget all Buddhist concepts right from the very get-go. Forget all of them. Don't even entertain them. Look at whose mind is everywhere. All you have to do is go, whose mind is everywhere? That's all. It's your energy. Bring your energy back. How? Through recognizing who. Whose mind is everywhere.
I'm talking about my mind.
Yeah, who's mine? Just look at who's mine. That's how you really practice. You look at me, I, and mine. Those are the three meditations. Those are the three contemplations. I is emptiness. My is awareness. Mine is the radiance of compassion. Recognize those. When you say I, me, mine, or my, just look at my. Look at mine, look at I.
Well, I thought the goal is to have an empty mind so that you could help to deal with things. And
There's
be
no
more
goal.
open,
There's no goal, because your mind is empty.
To be
You
more,
can't make your mind empty. It already is.
To be more present, though,
Right.
so that miracles and
So
healing can happen.
for you, just ask yourself in any given situation what you want. And be honest. Be really honest about what you want in any given situation with yourself and with others. That's going to bring the energy of your distracted mind back home. Because if you're clear about what you want, materially, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, maybe even sexually, in all those ways, if you're very clear, materially, financially, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and sexually, be aware, honest with what your needs are and with what you want. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to help your mind come back home. Then you can become clear about what your real intention is. And then from that place, you can recognize yourself. I, me, mine. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
That's good meditation right there. No concept meditation. That's actual meditation.
Okay.
Okay? No masturbation there. Just truth.
Right.
Right? That will help you.
Okay.
I'd like to thank Ösel.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Gay Buddhist Forum. If you would like to hear several new talks per month and be notified of upcoming speakers so you can participate live, please subscribe to this podcast, like us on Facebook, and join our mailing list by visiting gaybuddhist.org.